Alright, this is our last video lesson. We are on 117. We are going to be dividing a decimal number by a whole number. Let's go down to our new concept. It says dividing a decimal number by a whole number is like dividing money by a whole number. The decimal point in the quotient is directly above the decimal point inside the division box. In the chart below, divide by a whole, or W, means division by a whole number. The memory cue up reminds us where to place the decimal in the quotient. We later learn a different rule for dividing by a decimal. So right here, our memory cue, we're going to line up the decimals. Oh no, right here. Oops, let me erase that. Memory cue, right here. When we divide by a whole. So our whole number is the W, and then we have our decimal, and then our decimal is going to line up. So for instance, I'm going to give you an example. If I have 10 divided by 4 and 5/10, I would place that decimal right above. That's where my decimal is going to be for my answer. Sometimes we need, let me highlight it. Sometimes we need to use one or more zeros as placeholders when dividing decimal numbers. Here we show this using money. Suppose we have 12 cents is shared equally by 3 people. The division will look like this. Notice that the decimal point in the quotient is directly above the decimal point in the dividend. We filled the places with zeros to see that each person will receive 4 cents. So right here, as you can see, when they divide, they have this little empty space. And what we're going to do again is put a 0 there as a placeholder. The decimal doesn't change. The decimal point did not change. As you can see, it's in the same place. We just filled it with a 0. We held that place value. So here's an example. 2 divided by 4.8. So I'm not even going to look. I'm going to do it over here. So 2 divided by 4 and 8/10. So I said that wrong. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my decimal right there, and then I'm going to ignore the decimal. I could even erase it. Okay, I put my decimal point there, and now I'm really looking at 48 divided by 2. So 2 goes into 4 2 times, minus 4. I got 0. I drop my 8. 2 goes into 8 4 times, and I'm left with 0. So my answer is 2.4. So 2 and 4/10. I'm sorry, I'm saying that all wrong. Okay, so the next one is 3 divided by 42 hundredths. So same thing, we have 42 hundredths divided by 3, I'm sorry. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my decimal right there. And then again, I can ignore it. So now I have 42 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. Left with 1, carry down my 2. 3 goes into 12 4 times with a 0 remainder. So your answer is 14 hundredths. Right there. Okay. The next one I have 15 hundredths divided by 3. So it would look like this. 3 and 15 hundredths. I'm going to just put my decimal right there and then divide like the decimal is not there. I can delete it or erase it or keep it there, but just to show you. So 3, I know, goes into 1 0 times, right? Drop it. So 3 goes into 15 5 times with 0 left over. So my answer is 5 hundredths. 5 hundredths. And then we have this big one. Ooh. So we have 3 divided by 1. Oops. Okay. So again, I'm going to place the decimal here. And then erase. 3 goes into 0 0 times. Then I have 3 goes into, well, I could say 3 goes into 24 8 times, and then I can just fill in those zeros right there. So I could just do 3 into 24. I'd put my 8 there, and then the 3 spots I would fill in the decimal. Alright, I want you to try these and then come back and see if you get the correct answer. So I'm going to keep this right here. These are the answers. I've highlighted the answers to each in blue. So I would suggest pausing it and checking. If you got more than 5 incorrect, I would go back and review the lesson. If not, you're free to move on to your homework.